We're going to play a clip from the Luka introductory press conference. Here, Rob Pelinka explains how this trade came about. What I want you to pay particular attention to is the way that he answers the question and then also the language that he uses. And I'll add commentary throughout.
Yeah, so this all started with a coffee in Dallas where Nico approached us with the concept. And
Right there. That's your first preview into the rest of this response. He uses the word concept rather than trade.
because there was a partnership and a history of travel in the world between Nico and myself working around Kobe Bryant, there was a fabric of trust in the discussions. And
Also, note there fabric of trust and the use of the word partnership. So that indicates that this is a more of a collaborative effort than one where two GMs are trying to get the best deal from this trade negotiation. Also, with the word partnership, he didn't use the word existing relationship or he didn't use the word friendship. So that was another interesting note.
and these type of deals are incredibly intricate and complicated. And along the way, we knew there would be 248 insurmountable snags to
Insurmountable means impossible to overcome or unable to overcome.
get to the end, and there were. And so over the course of 3 weeks, call it, an issue would come up, and we'd think there was no way to climb the mountain.
We think there was no way to climb the mountain. So he's using the analogy of this trade negotiation was like climbing a mountain. And when you look at the final trade, you don't see a mountain that needs to be scaled. But he's also using the word we. So he's portraying this not as two GMs trying to get the best deal possible, but as a collaborative effort that is him and Nico Harrison coming together to reach this destination where they're both satisfied. So that's a reframing of what this actual situation is supposed to be. And so maybe it was more like that in real life, but that is not how it's actually supposed to play out. Two GMs are supposed to be looking out for their franchise's best interest. And the only franchise's best interest that was served was the Lakers. So again, I think it's really revealing that the language that Rob Pelinka is using and how he's trying to soften this, and we will get to the point where he labels this as a trade negotiation, but also we'll pay attention to the details that surround what he says.
And we'd figure out a way. Then the next issue would come up, and you just keep going, and you stay committed to the work. You stay
Committed to the work.
committed to trying to get the deal done in a partnership sense. I think a lot.
In a partnership sense. So the partnership part of here is this is a reframing, right? He doesn't want this to be viewed as two GMs who are trying to get the best deal possible out of this negotiation.
A lot of people talk about negotiations in terms of who won and who lost. I try to approach a negotiation in the sense of how do we build a partnership where we can get to the end.
He told you he said what this has all been leading up to, that he wants to look at this as a partnership, and of course he doesn't want to look at this as a win-loss because everyone else is, and everyone else can't help but see that the Lakers absolutely stole Luka Doncic, but he doesn't want anybody to look at it this way because if they do, then that raises questions as to what was behind this collaborative effort. How did this actually come together?
And I think that was the lens that we worked and the premise we worked under. And when the concept was initially introduced to us, it was, hey, the only way we can even have these discussions was if it's between owner and GMs. And there was a commitment to that.
That's not the only way that they can have these negotiations. That's the only way that the Lakers could end up with Luka Doncic, but that's not the only way they could have these negotiations. Again, this is in the self-interest of Rob Pelinka and the Lakers, not the Dallas Mavericks.
And if we broke that commitment by talking to anyone else, this day would never happen.
That is a revealing statement. If we broke that commitment, why is there this need for a commitment? Why? Because the goal here seemed to be getting Luka Doncic to the Lakers, not the Dallas Mavericks receiving equal value for Luka Doncic. So I'm going to go ahead and leave this clip here. I will link to it in the description. This is from the WFAA stream of the Luka introductory press conference. Pay attention to the wording. Look at the wording that he's using. Look how he's trying to reframe what actually happened.